And welcome back, you guys, for week 9 of my NFL Weekly Picks for the 2017-2018 NFL season. TJ Harman for you on YouTube, over_it_ on Twitter. Before I get with my week 9 picks this week, let us give you breaking news as I'm just coming on at 7:54 p.m. Eastern Time. The Houston Texans suffered a huge loss today as their quarterback rookie sensation Deshaun Watson suffered a torn ACL and is going to be out for the remainder of the season. It's a tough blow because he just came off a loss to the Seattle Seahawks in which he put up 38 points and he was just emerging to be Rookie of the Year. And the Texans has just been dealt with a whole lot of injuries this season with J.J. Watts as well as Jadeveon Clowney and now Deshaun Watson. So it's a terrible blow, but hopefully Deshaun Watson will be able to recuperate and come back even stronger than ever come next season. But now it's going to take their chances to getting into the playoffs a little bit more, as they got Tom Savage likely going to be the signal caller for the Texans for the remainder of the season, and they may have to go get another quarterback. Whoever that will be, time will tell, but right now it's just not looking good for the Houston Texans as their playoff hopes are possibly going to be dashed with this loss. We'll get with the Texans and the games coming up. But let's recap Week 8. I'm talking to you on my phone this week because I don't have a video editing program for my newest laptop because the one that I have is not supporting the file, and I'm kind of upset because I actually like this new setup, but hopefully something else better comes along and I'll be able to use it and show you guys next week. Could be a new debut, so look out for that. All right, Week 8, here's the recap. My video pick, I told you to take the Eagles to win. Straight up, they did. The Patriots, I told you to take the win straight up, and I told you to take the Minnesota Vikings to win straight up. That's all well and good. 3-0 straight up. 2-1 against the spread and 2-1 over/under. The only loss over/under came in the game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. I told you to take that game 37.5 points. It went over the 49, so that's a over/under loss. And against the Chargers and the Patriots, I told you to take the Patriots -7. The Chargers was able to cover the 7 points because the Patriots won by 8, 21-13. And yeah, it's a against the spread loss. So it's all well and good because overall the week I went 12-1 straight up, 8-5 against the spread. I changed the Eagles to the 49ers to cover the spread, and they almost did it, but they failed because Alshon Jeffrey scored the eventual go-ahead touchdown for the Eagles to put the Eagles ahead for good, and that was that. So that was my only account. I really could have went 9-4, but it turned out to be 8-5. And my one loss came in the game between the Ravens and Dolphins last Thursday night, as I wanted the Dolphins to win the game, but they didn't even show up in that game. So anyway, let's get with my Week 9 picks. I'm still going to give you my against the spread, straight up picks, and my over-unders. The rest of the picks I'll just tell you straight up by voice. No editing this week, so hope you'll enjoy the video. All right. My first up against the spread picks for the game this week is the Thursday night game, which is coming up in about 25 minutes. The Buffalo Bills are playing the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium. This is an AFC East division battle. Both teams are 3-point favorites and underdogs. The underdog in this game are the Jets. I'm going to tell you to take the New York Jets to really give the Bills a little bit of a run to cover that 3 points +3 for the Jets. But I have the Bills winning straight up. Over/under, the get total for that game is 43 points. This is likely going to be over because this is a division game and anything is possible between these two. I expect this to be a ground game between LaShawn McCoy and Matt Forte. So check that game out in the next 20 minutes or so, as the Bills will win, but the Jets should cover the 3 points. Next game is the Denver Broncos in Philadelphia to face my 7-1 Eagles. The Eagles are 8-point favorites at home. And it's likely going to be just that because Trevor Siemian for the Broncos is benched. They have Brock Osweiler signal calling for the Broncos this week, and it's not going to make a bit of the team better because they're still the same team, but just they have Brock Osweiler, who hasn't really played that much this season as Trevor Siemian sits down because he's just becoming a very effective quarterback. And I don't see the Broncos really making ends meet between Eagles because they're a tough team right now. The Eagles, 6-game winning streak, their best since 2009, and 7-1 is their best record since 2004 when they went ahead and went to the Super Bowl and faced the Patriots. You already know the rest. The Eagles also acquired running back Jay Ajayi for a 4th-round pick from Miami. Bring him here, and he's excited to play with the Philadelphia Eagles, and hopefully he'll get a rushing touchdown in this particular game because he has no rushing touchdown this season for the Dolphins. Meanwhile, Zach Ertz limited in practice today due to a hamstring injury. His status is likely going to be questionable for Sunday, so keep a lookout for that. Carson Wentz's special weapon may be grounded. We'll have to wait and see and see what's happening on that level. They are calling for a few showers on Sunday, not like last Sunday, so it should be a fairly easy game. Most people are taking the Broncos to cover, but I'm going to tell you to take the Eagles. -8 in Philly, straight up to win the game. Total points for that game is 43.5 points. If the Eagles can score 30 points in 2 straight games, I would tell you to push it over 43.5 points because I see this being a 34-17 route, and that is pretty much right where the Eagles could see themselves winning this game. And so the point total is under 43.5 points. Tell you to take it over 43.5 points in that game. The third game against the spread is the Atlanta Falcons traveling to face the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are 5-3 and the Falcons are 4-3. NFC South battle. This is a pick'em, so I'm not sure what you're going to expect with Cam Newton on his home turf. He's already lost 2 games at home, 1 to the Eagles and 1 to the Saints. They need this game to keep the NFC South running with the New Orleans Saints, who are also playing the division game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll get in just a moment. The Falcons, I believe, will win this game because they came back and beat the New York Jets after the Jets had them pretty much on the edge, but the Jets kind of coughed it up, and the Falcons went on to win 25-20. And the Carolina Panthers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Tight game there. So, tell you to take the Falcons in a pick'em. Total for that game is 43.5 points. This should easily go over because Cam Newton and Matty Ice Ryan will throw touchdown passes to touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin was traded to the Buffalo Bills this week. I don't know how much of an effect in the wide receiving game it is going to be for the Carolina Panthers. We'll have to wait and see. But again, Falcons should win the game, and it should go over 43.5 points. All right, with that, let's get to the rest of my picks for this week. Straight up, I got the Rams and the Giants game. Rams should easily win that on the road and MetLife Stadium. Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. I had the Titans winning that game. It could be close. Joe Flacco may play. If not, it'll be Ryan Mallett being signal caller for the Ravens. But I had the Titans to win the game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to the New Orleans Saints. As I mentioned before, it's an NFC South battle. Give the Saints the win all day long. Jameis Winston, I just don't know what to expect out of him. The Cincinnati Bengals travel to face the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off their bye. I think the Jaguars will win this game. It's going to be a close one, maybe a 3-point win for the Jaguars. Expect Leon Fournette to be the running back from his little minor injury. He was inactive in that game against the Colts a couple weeks ago, and I think he'll be back running with the Jaguars in this game. The Indianapolis Colts, by the way, are playing the Houston Texans. With that big blow of Deshaun Watson, Tom Savage is likely going to be the signal caller for Houston. This is probably going to be a close game, and I wouldn't be surprised if this turns out to be an upset. And you know what? I'm still going to stick with the Texans to win the game, but I would not be surprised if the Texans lose to the Colts in an upset. Meanwhile, Andrew Luck, as I was telling you, is probably not going to play anymore this season. They eventually put him on IR with his shoulder, so he's done for the season and likely done as a quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Later games, the Washington Redskins are facing the Seattle Seahawks. I have the Seahawks winning that game in grand style. Kirk Cousins and Jordan Reed and the rest of that Redskin squad defense, they're not going to know what to expect with the Legion of Booms. I expect the Seahawks to win a very, very landsliding victory win in Seattle. The Arizona Cardinals are playing the winless San Francisco 49ers 0-8. Jimmy Garoppolo was the trade brought in from the Patriots. And meanwhile, Brian Hoyer signed a 3-year contract with his former team back from 2009 to 11. Drew Stanton is going to be the quarterback for the Cardinals. I expect the Cardinals to win this game, even with a little help with Adrian Peterson. Now, Garoppolo starts, which I pretty much doubt, then I think the Cardinals will win this game. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals to win the game regardless, because it's going to take a little more for Garoppolo to get that playbook, but he is the foreseeable quarterback for the 49ers future. The Kansas City Chiefs are traveling to Jerry's World to face the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott's suspension is probably going to be reinstated, so he'll probably have to deal with the 6-game suspension. Get it over with. And I think the Chiefs, Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill and the rest of that squad will really get this running game and passing game going. Chiefs will win in Dallas. Sunday Night Football, the Oakland Raiders are playing at the Miami Dolphins without Jay Ajayi. I think the Raiders will end up bouncing back from that loss to the Buffalo Bills last Sunday and will beat the Dolphins on Sunday night. Whether Jay Cutler quarterbacks Matt Moore, doesn't matter. I think this will be a win for the Raiders. And on Monday Night Football, the Detroit Lions are facing the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. This will be an easy win for the Lions. Brent Hundley still the quarterback for the Packers because of Aaron Rodgers' collarbone fracture, leaving them out for the season. The Lions lost to the Steelers in a tight game on Sunday night. I expect them to rebound and win this game, even though the Packers coming off the bye. So give the Lions a win on Monday Night Football. All right, guys. Teams on byes this week are the Chicago Bears, the Minnesota Vikings, the Los Angeles Chargers, Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the New England Patriots. That's it for me for week 9. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and come back next week. Hopefully, I'll be on a new format or something. Maybe I'll get some help. We'll see what goes on from here. Shout out to all my YouTube prognosticators. Good luck with your picks, you guys. And you can check us out on our Facebook page at YouTube Prognosticators on Facebook. All that and more are down below the description of this page. TJ Harman for you here on YouTube, over_Rel on Twitter. Thanks so much for watching. I know this is a little drag because I'm on my phone this week, but hopefully I'll be back on my computer as I do always. I'll see you right back again next week for week 10. Till then, I'll see you guys later.